What's up, guys? Welcome back to Can Talk. I'm creating podcast by creatives for creatives. We're here to talk about creating, and yeah, I'm here with the usual guys and a nice special guest, fellow creative. I love we actually get somebody else who holds a camera and gets to create stuff on the couch.
Yes, sir.
So I'm excited. I'll let you introduce yourself. Shout yourself out.
All right, my name is Oxy, but my full name is Oxydroj. You won't get that clear for everybody who doesn't know how to pronounce my name, or you just call me Jordan.
There we go. And give a little highlight on what you do as a who you are as a creative.
So I'm a photographer. I've been doing photography for 11 years. And basically, my love for photography came from legitimately just doing it. Back then, in the time where I was at, there was no social media pleasing and nothing like that. There was no reason to be a photographer other than you liked it. So I loved it. And got into museum real young. Later on, got into the music industry and found out a lot about myself through that time. And now I'm doing what I'm doing what I love and doing what's for me. Because everything that worked out well in life for me was because I did it out of pure, genuine kindness and love.
I mean, yeah, that's dope. I mean, that's the reason I think to get into this is because you love doing it. I mean, that's why I got into it. That's why I know you got into it. I assume that's why you got into it. I mean, Shay might just be wanting to get a bag, just trying to sell some dreams.
No.
No, but that's dope. I mean, yeah, we've definitely over the years had some good conversations, so it's dope to finally sit down somewhere and actually record it and be able to look back on it.
I know, and I miss you.
No, for real, bro. I miss
you
being
too,
actually being able to be around, and I'm excited that we have a space now to facilitate this, where there's somewhere where we can connect the dots and be around creative people, and that's the goal with this, with the podcast, with the building, and I'm excited to have that, and I'm glad you finally slid through and you can check it out. And
yeah, it's gorgeous in here.
no, I appreciate it, dude. I appreciate it. Yeah, trying to build something for creatives, because that's I like being around creatives. I don't like, and there isn't places like that really where you can just get around creative people. So got to build that ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very excited.
Preach
I'm
that.
very, very excited about just building the network out.
We could talk about, I feel most comfortable around creatives at all times, especially being in this building. You should definitely get in here more, because it feels great to just be around people who want to talk about cameras, want to talk about the intricacies of cameras, all the little stuff, all that geek stuff that we like to talk about.
Yeah, and actually getting to be around other people who do it is nice. Like I said, at least for me, I'm not around, we've talked about it before, I'm not around too many other directors besides you. And so it's nice to be around other people and interact with people who use cameras and create stuff. And you are somebody who I really resonate with, like you said, who I can just tell you love doing this. You're not doing it because this is cool or this is this is that. You just genuinely love doing it. And I get really inspired by that. So it's really dope.
No, I'm inspired with what y'all do too. I mean, that's what kind of got me into the set of mind where I'm at right now, because I seen y'all pushing, doing what y'all love, doing it in the best capabilities that you can, continue to learn and evolve. The person I met when you guys first started aren't the same people you are now. And
Yeah, I appreciate that.
The quality is crazy.
I appreciate it.
And that's kind of what I aspire for myself. I might not post the quantity, but it's because I'm working on the quality. I have a project that I'm dropping in March that it's a year of me studying and backwards work in order to get the shot right. And if it's not done right the first time, I'm redoing it. It's a whole lot of science to it, a whole lot of intention within it that I'd rather have a good solid couple pictures that you guys could enjoy for the next month or so while I create my next one.
No, 100%. That's something I feel like Steve has taught me more too, is the care for not necessarily, because I get caught up in the social media stuff because trying to make it a business, you got to play the game to a certain extent. And I get caught up a lot in well, I just got to get something out. We got to just be in front of people's faces. And I understand that, but taking the step back, this is your art. This is what you're crafting, and what you're building your legacy by everything you're creating and putting out there in your portfolio.
Yeah, I mean, you can even compare it to architecture, America versus the pyramids.
Yeah, I mean, very true. Yeah, anything. Go to Tokyo and look at the architecture versus now what I watch build up in Jersey, where it's oh, that looks I feel like I'm playing Sims, where they just took the building model and pasted it. Yeah, definitely. The art in architecture, I feel has been pulled out At least in America, at least when in Jersey, what I'm seeing, because
absolutely.
I really like what you said about intention though, because I feel like that comes through a lot in your work. Because the quality of your work is very, like you said it best. You don't post that much, but when you do post, like every time you post, I'm like, God damn, Jordan is crazy with it. Like your photography is very, very like, I would say pristine. Like you take, it's obviously that you take a lot of effort just setting up the scene, setting up the lighting, making sure everything's right. And my question to you is, how do you go about like making sure that intention is shown in your pictures?
So I would say how I do that is because like I study a lot prior. Like I go to sleep watching photography videos or watching a documentary on photography and stuff. So like when it comes to the quality of the photo, the process of what I do, it may not be necessarily noticed all the time. Some of these pictures, like the last post I made, I'm not gonna lie, it was so fast I had to get it done. It was like 2 weeks. Like, but normally I would take 3 months on one photo. I'm talking about I'll print it out and I'll hang it on my wall and I'll stare at it every single day.
That's crazy.
And then I'll be like, yeah, that's a good photo. I'll repost it. Like that's my process of creation. During the studio shoots, it's kind of just a flow of motion.
Yeah, it's just see that interesting you said, because I'm big on the concept of not to the wave, unironically to wave change, but like the wave where, or you could say like the like being in a flow state almost, because I'm very big on that, where kind of like you said, when you're in a studio session or sometimes like when I'm editing, I can't even fully articulate how or like where this is coming from, but you're just in this state where it's like coming and it like it's just flowing naturally, and that's cool because that's something I feel like only creative people really experience, because it's like I can't even, like I said, articulate it. It feels like it's something else comes into my body and I'm just here bringing this thing out. Like I'm just the vessel bringing this idea out.
Yeah.
I wanted to go off kind of like you were saying with the intention of it. It is really dope. Like the care you put, like we talked about it a bunch about how you really have to like love doing this thing or whatever it is, the thing you're doing, because you like, it takes this level of obsession to really to become a master or a high tier at the field you want to do. It takes a level of obsession, like you said, that where you're going to sleep watching videos, and it's not something where that you could, I guess you could explain, like you got to go to sleep watching videos, you got to study all the time, but you could tell that to somebody. But it takes a certain kind of person that like they're gonna do that. Like it doesn't take somebody checking on you. Did you watch a video today? Did you study? No, you are obsessed over it the same way. We'll go on and there's just behind the scenes videos of a music video set or watching music videos, or yo, did you see this drop? Did you see like, and you just obsess over that thing, and that's dope. And I get really inspired by that, and that's why like he said, when you post, it inspires me when I see you post, because it like you feel that level of care for the thing, and that's dope. That's super dope.
Yeah, no, I feel like that came from a place of my life where the attention to detail, what I take care of. Like, for example, you guys all have cameras. You take care of your cameras, to an extent at least. Not like you're not just I'm home. You feel me? Like you're not throwing the camera necessarily across the room like it's a toy.
You might.
Yeah, I'm definitely more on that side. Yeah, I'm very rough with it, but that's why I've been Steve's been taking care of the camera.
How many cameras have you broken?
Broken? 1, 2 or 3. Yeah, I've definitely gone through 2 or 3.
I've never broken a camera. Wait,
yeah.
I think I've broken a GoPro. I definitely had a GoPro in the water. I broke. That was definitely one.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm definitely rough with the equipment. Especially on like a set, like when the flow state's there. If we're on set active, I'm rough with it, because this idea has to come out, and it definitely isn't the best. It definitely hurts the pocket sometimes, but hey man, the idea's got to get out. I'm interested about like I don't even know exactly like the obsession of it. Like it's just. Where did you recognize where in your life that kind of like started, or was it always you just were always into this? Or because like for me as an example, I found videos when I was 12, But prior to that, I was painting, drawing. Like I went to school for fine arts, like painting and that kind of stuff. So creativity was kind of always there. And then I found the channel. Did you always, was it photography, or did you kind of find the channel in photography, or?
I would say I found the channel. It was like, I was very into like you, like I had like the arts background,
Yeah.
you know, I was into poetry. I
Okay,
did
yeah,
theater.
so creating in general, yeah.
I was creating in general, and then my dad was doing photography. He was getting into it, and then he got a new camera. So he was like, "You want to try it out?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So once I heard that shutter, I was like, hooked. It's like
I feel
like
that,
a drug.
yeah.
And I was just like, nah, like I need to get a camera. He ended up buying me my first camera, which was a Rebel T36. I don't
I'm gonna say,
remember.
I'm
It's
pretty
a
sure.
classic.
Yeah, I
right,
started
yeah.
on a T3i.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, classic. Absolute
Yeah, that
classic.
was like at that time that was the camera. I remember. Yeah,
And even not for nothing, like I got into a museum with that camera. Like, and that's like a base camera.
yeah. I mean that is one thing that I think a lot of people like. It takes a true creative. I feel to like you can give me a Polaroid right now, and it's like I'm gonna get this idea. I'm gonna make it cool. It's not on the camera. Like, it's not on like a red camera. This like good equipment does more, but you don't need that to get a good idea out or to create something dope.
Yeah.
Cause like that, the T3i, I shot my early videos on that. I started doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, nah. It was definitely the consistency of that. Just wanting to go, hey, you want to go to a park and take pictures and all that? That's what kind of kept it like a thing and alive, other than photography class, which I actually was teaching the teacher things because I was studying it so much and so frequently
Yeah.
on my own path before.
That's really how it is. It's like that the obsessive mindset where it's like it just consumes you. I'm interested. Damn, I just completely lost the point I was about to ask.
I was gonna say, to your point of like going out and doing it, I've recently just been, I don't know if you've seen my posts recently, but it's more like me or like somebody else, not like music video stuff. And I really like that, to me has gotten me so much more into videography again, because it's like what I want to do. Like it's kind of what I started doing. So that alone, I don't know how much you do that, but that alone to me is just like skyrocketed my cinematography, and I'm just gonna keep doing it like every week. I'm doing it probably in like 2 days. About to go shoot myself again.
Yeah, no.
Sounds crazy.
Oh, whoa.
I'll shoot myself.
Yeah.
We okay here?
Steve, I need you around, Steve.
Honest answers. Safe space.
Call the hotline.
Yeah.
What's going on, fellas?
So now, I mean, I have seen those videos. You guys have all posted videos of a similar content, and I love it.
Yeah,
I
for
genuinely love it because it's like very personable, and it's easy to really digest that way. And I think that's what people look for. A lot of people like very just stuck in what they're doing, and it's like your work could be amazing, but sometimes some people just want to know who you are without
The
you can still be-
personality,
yeah, the personality of it. And what you guys are doing, it's so cinematic. It's so
appreciate it.
cinematic. I
Nah,
love
Steve's
it.
he's been teaching me to level up the cinematography end of it for sure. I'm curious because I know you mentioned it before, and like I know you said how you like got into the music scene and then kind of pivoted out of it. I'm curious because like as far as me, I'm fully in the music. Everything visual I do is fully in the music scene, and that's where my interest lies. I'm curious where like your interest in it, where like what really gets it for you, where music videos is like for me. Like videos are cool, but music videos specifically, what kind of do you lean towards? Or is there like a lane where you, like you said, you pivot out of the music, like the music scene?
The sense of direction of it all, kind of.
Yeah.
Like where am I heading? It's crazy, but like there is none. It's me. Like it's just me shooting. Like,
It's like
with
what you
no like ends. Like if I become the most famous photographer of all time, so be it. But like that's not the intention of necessarily what I'm doing. I'm doing it for the love of the game. I'm doing it because I love doing this. I love creating. Like it's all out of my pocket. Like I'm doing film, and film is expensive.
Oh yeah, I did film in college. Yeah, that is you gotta love film to do film because
My last shoot was like roughly $400 spent.
Yeah.
And like that was just for an Instagram post.
yeah,
That
it's,
might be a part of the catalog for Facebook or
Yeah.
not Facebook, fucking like making a book.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, that speaks a lot to me just by like, yeah, you're like, I'm doing this because almost like you're like, I'm compelled to do this. Like I know where I want WaveChange to go and where I want to go with this, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna go crazy if I don't create something. Like I'm gonna be in my bed at night, like I didn't get it out. I didn't get this idea out. I got to get it out.
I'd be like Steve.
Yeah, like that. That's where he showed me a lot too. That's why I just started doing stuff that wasn't necessarily like client-based stuff, and it has got like a love for it, where it really is like the passion stuff for it. And finding a balance that is definitely hard for creatives because, like you said, it takes a lot. Like it takes a certain level of crazy or obsession for that thing to be like, I need to create these things, even if it costs me 400 or I have to come out of pocket and do this thing. And it is a hurdle to try to balance both or figure out what that is to be able to fund it or create a business to then it can and fund it. And it definitely is a challenge. And I really find it dope that like, I love this thing and I'm going to create that thing. Cause I mean, being around, I'm sure you're around people all the time where it's like, some people say that, but then you can tell that's not really where their head at and they don't get the recognition from something and then they get upset by it. And it's like, it isn't fully that. I didn't really have a question with that, but just
my question is one of your goals to publish a book?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think I'm going to start with little coffee table books, like a little magazine,
Yeah, hell yeah.
Something like that. Keep it affordable for the people and all that. Through the time that will pass, I want to do more of a fine art. That's kind of like the sense of direction I'm in. But you don't really get clients off of fine art. You just have people buy your images.
Yeah.
If somebody wants a model for me, all means I'm there.
Yeah.
But when it comes to a book, I do have a book intended. I don't know if I want to start it next year. I know the best time to start is now, but like there's something about this project that's super personable to me that it's emotional. Like it's so growing up, long story short, IEP classes, whatever. I had a class with kids with autism, but only because my scheduling block was messed up or whatever. And I was like, I never was in a class with kids with autism. Like, I don't know if they're gonna act up. Like, I don't know how intense their autism is. I was completely ignorant. I pull up and they were just like my sister. My sister has autism. I'm just like, nah, this is like family. And so through the years that like passed, and I see them in the hallway and all that, lunch, I sit with them. I grew a bond with them, a love with them to the point where people around me also showing them love and respect. And I remember one day I was leaving school, last day of school, and this kid that I was with, his name is Michael. It was my last day. I'm about to graduate, and he gives me a hug and he was like, "Thank you." That's all he said, "Thank you." And I remember my heart sinking just down. I was like, I need to do something for these kids. Like, I need to. I couldn't figure it out. My ex-girlfriend bought me a book for graduation. It was a photographer, and it was Humans of New York. Are you familiar?
Yeah.
No? All right, so the guy pretty much would go into the streets of New York, interview the person, take a picture of them, and that was like a page on his social media. He made a book, made multiple books.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. I ended up speaking to him too. I was like, "Yo, can I do something similar to this?" And he was like, "By all means, not copyrighted."
No, that's dope. That's like capture like the real, like the people.
Yeah, I want to capture the families too. Like, what's your side of this? Like, how was it like, or the caretakers, whoever it may be.
Like give a voice to these people that don't necessarily have a voice or anywhere like kind of shed light on that. That's dope.
Yeah, the good, the bad, whatever it is. Like, there's gonna be a lot of, I guess, it's gonna be up and down emotions because you're gonna see like, oh, this kid's a nice kid, and then the next page might be, I mean, this is the troubles of dealing with a kid with autism.
Yeah, but that's like that's the real, and like kind of like you said about like the creating the personal projects. It's like that's what resonates with people is the real though, is when you read it and it's like it's not always just rainbows and happy and this. It's like the real, like this is what it is, and people resonate with that. And I think that's why a lot of like the art and like you said with Steve, when you see like he posts something and it impacts you because you take that intention. And it's interesting because sometimes that's not even like you can't explain why it is there, but you could just feel it in the thing, whatever it is, the picture, the painting, the art. You could just feel like the authenticity and the stuff behind it. And I don't fully know what that is, but it is true that like the love and the care you put into that thing really, yeah, it definitely shines through, for sure. One thing I wanted to touch on, being with another creative, I had a point on I want to talk about in the episode on a episode, is burnout, like just in general, and then kind of the idea of I screenshotted one. I saw it on Instagram. I thought it was a good quote. It says, "Burnout isn't caused by working long hours. It's caused by working on goals you don't believe in with people you don't like," which I resonate with that because I've spent years struggling with burnout. Like I can remember probably over the last like 2 years ago, it was like a real rough. There was a couple months where it was like I really faced burnout. Where there, I was like, "Wow, I don't like that. I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to pick up the camera. I don't want to do anything." And looking back now, like right now on paper, I'm significantly more busy, more videos. There's more projects, more stuff, and I don't feel. I feel the farthest thing from burnout. I'm excited to be here every day. I'm excited to wake up, come in, and when I read that, it clicked with me that, oh, burnout isn't just having a full schedule, because there's people with a way more full schedule than me, and they're not burnt out. But it really is caused by like the company around and working on things you don't love. So I definitely want to touch on like your view on burnout, and do you experience it, and what is your experience with it, and how do you kind of cope with it, and I guess everyone in all sense, like burnout with your art.
Well, with burnout, I feel as if I had experienced it recently, but it was kind of like that was what ended the chapter with me in the music industry, like the recent burnout. And it's not that it's because it was a bad thing that happened or anything. It was just the fact that I realized within myself that it was over. Like I need to stop worrying about the music industry and start worrying about myself.
Yeah.
But in terms of burnout in itself, I have dealt with it by just I had to take breaks. Like, like my brain's fried. I need to find a way to regulate. Like, what is it that I need to do right now? Finding that and just rolling with it. Whether it's, hitting the gym consistently or hanging out with friends, just being kind of brain dead for just a couple days.
Yeah, get into just experience life and pick up things like, and just like you said, hang out with friends and go to the gym and just live life to get experiences, because as artists we can only create art because it's emotions that we're trying to express, and you don't have emotions if you're not experiencing things. So I definitely feel that, but also I think you kind of said it where you said like the last burnout was called like made you realize that the music industry I need to pivot out of. To me, I think a good fight against burnout is pivoting. And the pivot might be, like you said, it might be, all right, I need to cool it for a day or a week, whatever, and just hang out or take a vacation, or pivot. The music, I'm burnt out and the music isn't making me happy, or the music industry, pivot over here and work on, do this, or like you kind of, where you picked up into the product stuff, pivoting, and now you're happier doing this versus doing this thing. That is the best thing I found for combating burnout, is pivoting. Like, being burned out, like I hate doing this, but you said when you started doing stuff that you wanted to film and create, you're way more excited now to do it and do it every day. And that's what I found, because it really is like what I read off. It's working on stuff you're not happy with. Clearly the music, like that industry isn't something you resonate with. The same way when I was editing weddings, I made good money. I made better money consistently doing that than music videos. But I was finding myself every day not happy. I wasn't working on the thing that I was excited for, and that would cause burnout. But when you work on and you're in love with something, you find yourself, I've been doing this every single day for the last however many months, and I'm still excited.
Yeah, nah.
And even if it is like, sometimes you have to pivot on the thing. Like, I love music videos, but sometimes I have to pivot and edit the podcast. Or that's why I like starting the podcast or doing a personal video just on Instagram for myself, because pivoting for the day to work on something else, so then you can come back to this thing. But that's the biggest combat I found, because it really is, burnout to me is caused by working on stuff you don't love. Because if you love it, I don't find you get burned out. Like you said, you might be like, my brain's fried all day, I need to cool it tonight and just relax. But it definitely, finding what gives you that obsession, makes you want to spend the hours, spend the day, spend the however long. That is definitely key.
It's definitely a mind thing too, because like some people I have friends that don't even do the arts and all that, and there's like, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do that. But I read in like Japan that they don't use the word like I have to. It's like I get to. Like, it's a privilege. The mind really could play that trick on you if you feel like it's a chore to do.
Yeah.
So I get to do this, and it's a privilege that I get to do this. You know, even when you're feeling real low about it, you don't really want to do it, you get to. It's a privilege.
100%. Dan, that
That's
is
great
a
perspective.
yeah. That it definitely is like a mindset thing, and it's okay. I think some people that, like you said, sometimes you might be exhausted today, but you might just have to cool it for the day or take a break. But that doesn't mean that wasn't for you. Like you said, you get to do it, and you don't have to say that as like you can't be upset or be down or be, oh, I'm not feeling this today. It's like you don't have to look at that, oh, but I get to do it, so I have to force myself. Like, no, you get to do it, so you can not do it today or do it tomorrow. Like it is a privilege, and that is a dope. I think a lot of people have to. I definitely have to remind myself that you get to do it because it is super easy to just like you said. I'm sure I only know America and the society here where it is very social media is king and everything you got to be posting and you got to be this, and it is easy to get caught in that trap of like just servicing this machine almost that isn't like, and you like lose the happiness in it.
You know, that brings up a question for me, for y'all. How do you feel the general industry, whether that's music or arts or I guess the content creation, how do you feel like in 10 years from now or even 5 years from now, how people are going to remember the things that are created now? Like, is it, if it makes sense,
Viral.
yeah, going viral pretty much, right? Like, you know, going viral, making that be that big thing. I feel like, to explain it better, a song like Wicked Games by The Weeknd, you know, if I say the song, you know how it sounds. I can't name you one Fabio Foreign song that's came out in the last year, but like,
Yeah, I see
you
what you're
know,
saying.
I think it's a lot of things that play into that though. It's like I feel like dropping something during like let's just say I think Wicked Games dropped in the wintertime. Perfect time to drop a song like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the standard for the wintertime is kind of like a sad, gloomy, looking out the window kind of. So for him to drop that, perfect timing. For Fabio Foreign, he's like it's like a party, you know what I'm saying? It's like
yeah,
a
it's like,
party guy. He only could kind of drop in the summer. He's not gonna really get no playing time in the winter time. But Fabio Foreign, it's a million of Fabio Foreigns. It's not a lot of weekends. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like that just depends on the person and how like they roll out their song or they let's just say a trend, a TikTok trend. If you have a song, your song could be as fuck, but if you have a trending TikTok, you're gonna go up no matter what.
I think long term, like you were saying, like 5, 10 years. I think it's there's less, more and more. There's less superstars. So there, because it's more saturated. There's more people who have 1 million followers than ever right now. Like, and it waters down. There'll be less Justin Bieber's. The same way when I was in high school, every girl, like you knew Justin Bieber. It was everywhere. Like, yeah, like right now, an Ice Spice song will go viral. Everyone's talking about it, but it doesn't have that same like when Justin Bieber Baby dropped. It impacted, like it wasn't just viral on the internet. Like my mom knew about, like, and I think there will be less of those as time goes because it's easier to create. So there'll be less. It's harder to get to that like status, and there'll be less of those overall in everything, in artists, in songs. There'll be less big ones, but kind of going on to that. When like the SoundCloud era, for lack of a better term, when it became easy, anyone could be an artist, anyone could just create stuff and release stuff and whatever. I think the counteract to that is this whole AI movement of AI. Everyone's like, AI is going to get rid of everyone's. It could just create stuff. A videographer, why do I need you? I'll have an AI do it. Why do you need me to do it? You can have Steve do it. It's the same. I think the balance will, like, the AI stuff will like take out the watered down stuff almost, because there's no need for somebody who could just make like you said, there's 100 Fabio forms. You could just AI. The only thing that makes it different is
The personal
the
interaction.
thought behind it, which the same thing that always existed. It's just now the AI is just more. There's just more of it, because the same way before AI or all that stuff, there's the only thing that made my art different. You could buy the same equipment as me. The only thing that makes it different is our idea. So that'll come back. So long term, I think we'll definitely continue to go where everyone's gonna have 1 million followers. There's gonna be the virality, and it's those less big culturally impacted things. Like obviously, like in my world, Ice Spice song is the biggest thing in the world. My mom doesn't know that. It doesn't impact the same way. Like I said, when Justin Bieber dropped Baby or Justin Timberlake was dropping back in the day, like it impacted bigger. So I don't know. It's definitely interesting, but
you think that like, I think it would never be able to go back to. I mean, it can.
It won't go back,
but it won't go back to that. Damn, he just dropped and it impacted as a baby. You know what I'm saying?
I think it forces people now to be almost more like you got to be authentic to you, because you could just go on an AI and get whatever you want. The only thing that makes it different is your idea. So I don't think it'll ever go back, because I mean it can't, because back then when Justin Bieber released, there was only X amount of artists you could listen to. Now, if you drop a song, if I don't like it in the 30 seconds, there's nothing like, I'm just gonna go swipe and find, because there's a million other options. So you gotta put that intention and care into your thing, because there's no point of like the rat race of how to be on social media and just make stuff to be there. There's no point, like you're wasting time, because an AI is just gonna just be there. Spend the time to care and make it things that impact, that really can sit, because
that's one thing that's gonna separate you.
Because like you said, like in a year, I want to look back on my videos or the things I'm creating, and it sticks, and I can watch it back. I don't want to forget about things, and because the way society is now, it's so tomorrow it's forgotten. Who cares? Like, yeah, that was the dope thing you posted today, but like
I think that's like in 10 years there's gonna be a lot less like timeless stuff, in my opinion. Like there's gonna be a lot less like kind of like what you're saying with superstars. There's gonna it's getting so saturated that there's gonna be. I hope it flips back over. I don't see it flipping back over, but like there's not gonna be any more like Van Goghs. Like there's not gonna be any more like The Weeknd is honestly a great example. I don't think we're gonna see many more Weekends in the next 10 years. Like I just don't think that care for art and that care for like whatever thing you're doing is there anymore. I think people are more interested in getting it done and getting it out than actually caring about what they're putting out.
That quantity should be blowing my shit sometimes. It's like, yo, bro, why are you putting this out and this sounds way better than the 10 you're about to try to put out? Why don't you just put out this one, have a rollout for it, promote, and then just make another banger, because the quality is what's going to be timeless. The quality of whatever you're putting out is going to be what's timeless.
I mean, I think it's because of like the society we're in, where it is that if you're not posting on TikTok right now, if you're not what you didn't post TikTok.
It's like a catch-22. It's like it's fucked.
But I mean, it's give and take, because it's like the same token. I wouldn't have a job 20 years ago. My job quite literally would have not been accessible to me 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But it really is like finding that whatever it works for you to be able to create your thing and sustain it and be able to get it out. Because a lot of people do get into whatever field, photography, videography, being artists, just purely for, when it works, when I'm a millionaire, when this clicks, and then when it doesn't work in a year or 2 years, they're getting discouraged, and now they're upset, and it's like, this not working doesn't phase me doing it. I'm gonna do this regardless of it working. It working is just, I could do it on a bigger scale or more, but it's like finding that thing that you.
But that's what's gonna separate you from everyone else as well, bro. Like the fact that you're gonna not saying you know you're gonna fail, but the fact that you know that there's a chance that you're gonna fail, but you have to adapt to it and learn from it, is gonna separate you from other people who's gonna fail and just be like.
Ready? I think even one step deeper, eliminate, there is no failing and succeeding.
Boom!
Because to me, that puts it as there's a deadline on this working. For me to say that WaveChange is gonna fail, or this might fail, it's like.
Well, not saying that it's a chance that it's gonna fail. You know that it's a chance that things might not work out how you think it's gonna work.
Yeah, you can't have. I think if you have expectations for how this is gonna play out, as an artist, you have no control over. When you finish the art, that's when your control ends. Yeah. You have no control, so your whole basis has to be built on the creation of it, because if your value is based on what you get, the outcome of it, that's completely out of your hands. That's like you basing your whole, this might be a bad analogy, but you being like an Eagles fan and your whole, like, if the Eagles lose today, it's done. It's like, I can't, I'm not on the field. I have no control over that.
For you, those who doesn't know, he does not watch sports at all. So that is a great analogy right there.
My first sports reference on the podcast. That might be it. But I find that true because the people who I know who get discouraged in this, their value is clearly in the outcome of it.
Right.
When I finish the music video and I send that link out, it's done. My job's done. I'm on to the next project, the next idea, and whatever comes out of it, that's just that's just extra. That's just like people put a lot of value on that, and that's where I think it comes on the fear of like, oh, what if this doesn't work? It's like
putting all their eggs in one basket instead of like, let me put 10 eggs right here. All right, now this works. I can put 10 more eggs in this basket.
I think it goes on to being able to do it, like picking something that like I know I'm gonna do this until I die.
Yeah.
Regardless of if this stops working and I go get a job at Amazon or whatever, and I'm not getting money from the videos anymore. I'm gonna I was doing this for 5 years, like you said. You started this when it wasn't like, what can I get out of this? I started doing this
for the love
in my bedroom and just because I wanted to do it, and I'm gonna do it every day and finding that thing because, like you said, if I'm sitting here like, well, if this doesn't work, what am I gonna do? It's like, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
I need a job. Oh, this gets to pay the bills. Okay, cool. And I'm just gonna do it every day with it, whatever it is, and figuring that thing out. And a lot of people I don't think can be on it, like aren't honest with themselves. They might be like doing this, being an artist or being whatever for the clout or for the money, and they don't even realize that's what they're doing it. They're so convinced themselves that they want to do it. But if you actually step back and was like, am I okay doing this with zero recognition, zero anything forever?
Yeah, you got to be, because I feel like a lot of people don't even know when they're doing, like, unless you're like looking at your analytics every day, which you should be, but like I feel like it just happens out of nowhere when it's like you're just starting to pick up traction, things start going your way, and I feel like it's just a process you have to go through. You have to be all right not getting this or not getting these viewers in the beginning to get those in the future. Okay.
Yeah, all that's extra. The gift to me, the prize, the winning, this working is getting to be able to create the things and do the thing. Me getting to be here and create something, I won. Whether people watch this or not, I won because we came and sat on this couch and are talking right now and filming it, and I'm going to edit it and post it. The podcast succeeded because we filmed and this podcast is posted. This podcast didn't fail or succeed because it has how many views. I don't know how many views any episode has.
But that's people's mindset, though. You know what I'm saying?
Because I think they're in it because somebody else did this because they're going, oh, this is going to get 1 million views, and then they post it and it gets 10 views, and they're like,
it's a validation thing.
This failed.
I gotta stop.
Well, because your pass fail was based on the performance of it, which you have no control over. Whether you marketing money into it, dump money, like you could do all that stuff, but you still don't, like, you could dump $1 million into marketing, whatever. You don't control over. If you listen to this and watch it and you go, I'm gonna tune back in.
Exactly.
The only and the main thing that gets people to resonate in my eyes is authenticity. Like you said, when he posts, you see that shit and you're like, wow, this is fire. That comes from authentic, like putting yourself into it versus looking at something dope and he did this, so I got to do that, and this worked for him, so I got to do this, and
swag jacking.
Yeah, you see, that's the thing too. Like, I see a lot of people in the photography industry doing a lot of the similar things, and I'm just kind of like, what would this matter if I got EMP'd right now?
But I feel like we were talking about it. I feel like a lot of people are starting to do photography. A lot of people, like 4 years ago, I probably only know one cameraman. Now I probably know like 50 to 60 people who does videos. Not all of them give out the same service, and you know what I'm saying? But it's just like people, it's only so much that, not saying there's only so much, but there's only so many people that's going to take that extra step to really sit here and study it like you, or to come and connect with other creatives. Other people are just doing the work. All right, give me the bread. There. Do the work. Give me the bread. There.
I mean, there's two sides, because like that is more to me of like a service provider, which isn't anything wrong. It's like There's people who care, like who they're focused on creating art. There's people who focus on creating a business. There's a need for photographers. Create a business. Boom.
But not when you promote yourself as someone who takes this as a serious thing and then hand out half-ass work.
But yeah, and kind of like you were saying, it's like a lot of people. Like I see a lot of people who you see something and they try to follow, like mimic that because that worked. That's what I have to do. And like it's cool. And like I definitely understand like seeing something. If something's working, all right, how can I take that? And if it inspires you to do something, even if it is, you see a trend on Instagram and you see it and you're like, oh, that's fire. I could do, and you get inspired to do it. Cool. Yeah. But then the people who are just actually sitting there like, oh, this person did this. So I got to do this move. You're always just following. You're always one step behind because you're always just waiting for what did they do so I could do that. And to me, it's like, where's the fun in that? It's like, why am I just going to follow you and just do it? Like, I'm basically just working for you. I'm just watching what you did and I'm just going and doing it. It's like,
I got your notification on. Oh, he did this? Like, yeah, I got that.
I'm going to give you a little cheat code for photography. The best thing you could do is first you get a car, right? A nice classic car. And then you get a woman. And then you get her in a bikini. And then there you go. 5,000 likes. Yeah. Something like that. Cheat code. Everybody loves it. They eat it up. They eat it up.
That's because we have a world full of
consumers.
Yeah, just like, yeah.
Vices sell, man. That's just the reality of, especially this country.
I mean, America.
Yeah. Vice, if you put a vice on anything, you're going to sell it.
Bro, I've seen, not for nothing, I've seen like pictures get 1 million views of like, just like their Under Armour, but they thought it was something else. And I'm just like, this is why you guys liked it. You didn't like it because it was Under Armour. You liked it because you thought it was
you dirty bastard.
You're dirty bitch. Dirty bitch. But that just goes to show it's just like, I don't know. You can't just fall with the rest of the crowd in the world. You just have to be your own self and your own creative.
Yeah, because it's like, to me, I don't, like it's the whole, it's a mindset shift I see, because it's like, I don't wake up, like I'm compelled to just create these things. I'm not in this race with other people as much as like there's obviously other directors and you have like your field, but like I'm just doing this thing. I'm in my own bubble, just creating this thing outside of like the world. And there's a huge comfort in that. Like it almost felt like when I finally was able to detach from the stigma of having to be cool on Instagram or do this or like this is late or like drill videos are popping, so we got like whatever it is. It like taking a step back where it's like I can see that, and if I see something that's working and popping off and it inspires me, I'm like, oh, I want to do that. Then doing it, but detaching from the social media almost, where it's like I feel like I'm in a good place now where I can keep the social media active with the company, but I'm not like in this like trapped by it almost. It feels like it's like I'm just using it as a place to release my work. It's not a machine I have to be a part of. It's just a place that I can release my art.
You know what I'd like to see? I would like to see all of y'all make a video for yourselves. I'm talking about completely for yourselves. No one's going to see it. Don't release it. Just keep it to yourself. Put it on a hard drive and just leave it there locked up. Come back to it later. Like later.
Purely just, this is purely just, because I mean, even like when I do create stuff for myself, there is a huge aspect of, well, this is this is how it was going to work on social media. So you got to format it this way. And this is how people are going to see it. But like, I don't think I've ever created something purely just
put it in a time
without
capsule.
The thought of like, it needs to be formatted this way to be seen on social media. Because it is interesting. I didn't really think about it much prior to this, that like most of my art is subconsciously driven by, this is how social media works. This is how it needs to be done. And without even recognizing it, a lot of stuff I create definitely is put through that filter of like, this is how social media works. This is how it like.
I made a video. I was gonna say I made a video. You watched me make this video, the pills video.
Oh yeah.
I was so down bad about a breakup in like, what was that, late March probably. That was like right when we moved in here. I had to make like a video of myself getting over like an addiction, and I have it. I'm never gonna put it out because it's too intense. But yeah, after that too, I was like, I felt so much better after it. So
yeah. You ever did that though? Like made a time capsule like as at school, and they're like, hey, put something in the time capsule, we're gonna pick it up. In the next class in 20 years, we're gonna pick it up and we're gonna see.
Exactly that.
Okay, I left some bad notes in there, so I'm sorry for whoever got those notes. I apologize. I was immature.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, you definitely, yeah, because I was
That video is never coming out.
I was gonna say it never came out, but I definitely have the behind the scenes of us, like you filming that, me and Jose being there. But no, that I'm gonna do that one time. I'm definitely gonna like take that challenge on and do something purely just what I want to create with this isn't going on social media. So try to take that like lens off of creating it. Interesting. I mean, yeah, it's definitely social media has like shifted like art, because like I only know being an artist now in the social media world. I don't know what I would look like as an artist if I didn't grow it and learn it all in social media. It'd be very interesting to see because like I was doing art prior to social media, but it was painting, drawing, and it shifted to video because I didn't know how to monetize paintings the same way you could monetize this. So what would me as an artist look like if social media never got added in?
Probably like a Da Vinci.
Very interesting to think. I've never thought about it before.
Corri.
Yeah.
Corri.
All right, dope. Well, thank you for tuning in. Every Monday, you know where to find us. Back on the couches, talking to creatives. Make sure you go follow him. Check his stuff out. Dope creative. Make sure you tune in whenever the book does drop. We'll definitely keep you posted, whether it is this year, next year. We'll see.
5 years.
Yeah, 5 years.
You get the magazines first.
Yeah, just
5 years?
Wait on
March 24th.
And it's only 5 years because he wants the art to just be emotional to the consumer.
Quality
over quantity.
Appreciate you guys. Tune in, like, comment, and subscribe. Tune in next week. Peace.